Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from deep profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from deep profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or bring. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Ready to stop guessing and start growing as a trader. Welcome to Vici Trading Solutions, a community built by real traders for serious learners. We don't just post trades, we teach the why behind every move. With a full education section and daily breakdowns, you'll start seeing the market like a pro. You won't be trading alone. Inside the Vici Discord, you're surrounded by committed traders, from futures pros to rising crypto specialists, all learning and winning together. Gain first access to our exclusive indicators, powerful tools used daily by hundreds across TradingView and beyond. These aren't gimmicks, they're built to sharpen your edge. Each morning, our founder posts a full trading plan for the S&P 500 or NASDAQ and calls out the levels he's watching live. No fluff, just clarity. Education, tools, community. Whether you trade futures, stock, or crypto, Vici gives you the foundation and firepower to grow. Join Vici, trade smarter, conquer the markets.
Welcome everybody, happy Monday. And you know you're gonna love me or hate me because today I'm doing the Trump dance again. We have just been knocking them over lately, insane. And you know what's even better? Way in advance. I mean, just incredible trade plan action lately. Today, we caught the bottom. Last night, if anybody was paying attention, we were down 90 points in the middle of the night. Caught the exact low, only to squeeze 150 points up today. Now, did I catch the 3 a.m. low? No, but actually, I know a lot of you guys are in Europe, and I know a big part of my crew was able to grab some of this low, and anybody else who paid attention. And based on the amount of people that are on this stream right now, I know there's a lot of happy people. So welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here. This is quite a nice turnout. So I'm excited to get into the trade plans today. Actually, we're going to talk about the weekend review because this is the trade plan for Monday. I put this out for everybody. This is my flagship publication. We go over high time frame and it's for free. And this is enough. Once a week, you guys can watch this trade plan and make enough that you don't have to trade the rest of the week. And so I hope a lot of you did. I know I had a guy in my room. He made $27,000 today. He's my homie from South Africa. Absolutely crushed it. Congratulations, bro. He's brand new to the room, brand new to the course. He just absolutely smashed it, and I couldn't be happier. So we've got some real big guys in the room who are just doing things, and it's very impressive. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to talk about the day, which is cool, and then we're going to talk about some other things too, because Bitcoin is kind of the topic of discussion right now. I want to get into that, and I actually touched on it on the weekend review, which was a big lead for us for the gap down on Sunday, which actually led us to a nice little dump ski. So let's just roll into it right now. You guys ready? All right, let's go. But first, before we do that, Make sure you follow me across all these socials. It's the same everywhere, guys. It's super easy. Ryan Bailey Edge across YouTube, X, TradingView, and Substack. Check out the TradingView, guys. I've got some indicators on there for free. So definitely ones that day traders need. Shows the open, low, high closes, opening range. It shows, overnight highs and lows, all the goods that a trader would need who is a day trader. So highly suggest you check that out. I got Rob working on some new tools right now. I won't even let him come up for air right now. He has to stick a straw up out of the water just to get breath because I am on his back about getting these done for you guys. I'm excited about the stuff that we're coming out with. So definitely make sure you follow me on TradingView. It is on the way, and I'm super excited to show it to you guys. What's up, Mark? Good to see you, buddy. Sorrow, George, pleasure you're here. George Burns, that's one of my homies, man. I love that guy. I thought you were dead. Welcome. You're like 90 years old now. Congratulations. All right, so let's get right into this. And just to let you know, as usual, I'm just winging it, guys. I make content at like 4:30, 4:40. I start the stream at 5. And so I really don't have any rhyme or reason. There's no script. We just go with it. So let's get into it right now. All right, so let's see. Where do we want to start? All right, let's start with the market context as usual, shall we? All right, check it out. So this is important because I talked about this in the weekend review, and obviously all this came from the weekend review, but I want to talk about this a little bit more in depth. So Bitcoin on Sunday, when I was making the weekend review, this thing was dumping and it was coming down. It's coming down to a level that we talked about, right? And so I'm actually going to get into the weekend I'm going to get into Bitcoin later, which we'll discuss. But first and foremost, Bitcoin is a high risk asset, right? And so are stocks, right? Essentially, they're risk assets. And so you guys have all heard the terminology risk on, risk off, what have you, right? And that's like an easy way to say that the market's selling or the market's bullish, whatever you want to say. Well, Bitcoin tends to be the lead. So I watch Bitcoin from a very high time frame perspective. I'm not talking about tick for tick here, guys. I'm talking about the overall quality of Bitcoin's move, right? And so on Sunday, this thing was dumping, right? And so immediately my antennas are up. I'm like, okay, something might happen here. And we were really kind of in the middle of a big balance area, in the middle of 2 weekly balances. And it was just a little undecided. And we didn't really have any good edge. And that was actually the name of the Sunday trade plan, was the no edge zone. And we're going to get to that. And it's really amazing how it worked out. And it's just been making me smile all day because it's just, our process is incredible. So here's the deal. So when I saw Bitcoin's coming down, I saw, you know what, if stocks are, they could be selling stocks, they could be potentially next, right? And so what I do, and this is something that all of you guys should do, Sunday night, if you ever want to figure out what's going to happen with the indices Sunday night, take a good look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up or it's flat, good chance that the indices will also be up slightly or flat. But if Bitcoin's dumping, an excellent chance that we will gap down or even dump on Sunday night. Well, Bitcoin was dumping, and so that is also what happened with the ES. As you know, we were down 90 points in the overnight session. This also talks about the no edge zone, which I was just telling you guys about. And here's one thing I preach to all my homies, all the guys in the Discord room, anybody who's paying attention now. This is the realest shit you'll ever hear. Our edge is in the edges, guys. When you are right in the middle of a range, there's no edge there, right? There's just no edge. Our edge is in the edges. We always get short at the highs or long at the lows because the way the market works is it's a deviation, it's a curve, it's all about value. And so if it's oversold, they pull back. If it's oversold, they buy it up, and it's overbought, they pull it back. And that's just how it works. And I'm not a mean reversion trader, but overall, if you just look at the way life works, it's just really how it is. It's interesting. I mean, a basic bell curve and deviations are how the world is built. I mean, that's even how cars are built, right? It's like, oh, well, you want 75,000 for this car? No, you might be a little too high. Nobody's going to buy it. Okay, we'll bring it to 65. No, you're not going to buy it. Okay, 55. Now you're selling it. Guess what? That's the value of the car. Same thing with the markets. It works exactly the same way. So one of the things that I want to show you guys is this 68.83 level. We had two really, really big levels that we discussed. It was the 69.03, which was the big level we played last week. We caught the low on that one too, brought us up over a 100-point squeeze. And then the next level down was our big momentum shift level at 68.83 that we really needed to keep tabs on. And so this is in the plan, or was in the plan, and we're going to get into that right now. So let's talk about it, right? So here you go. So let's see, what's the next one here? How do I want to play this? Oh yeah, let's just go right here. So here's the other thing. So we also talked about VIX. This was a big deal. As you guys know, I'm all about VIX, right? This is a big deal for me. I watch this all the time because this is like, between, if I'm trading ES, so I'm watching SPX and I'm watching VIX. These are essential items for everybody here, guys. Pay attention to this stuff. And we've been talking about this 1750 level right here, this big, massive pivot being above or below on VIX for quite some time. It's been weeks now, actually, weeks. So what's up, Raj? Good to see you, buddy. It's been weeks. So, the whole idea is this 1750, if the market catches a bid above 1750, this thing could go to the next untested spot around 20 bucks, right? And that would send the indices down further. Well, what do you think happened? We're going to get to that here real soon. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll get to that here shortly. So here's the deal. So let's just kind of leave it at that right now. So after the market opens, it opens down 20 points. The next thing I know, we're down like 50 points when I go to bed at like 11 a.m. or 11 a.m. 11. Yeah, it's really stayed up all night. No, at 11 p.m., this thing was down like 50 points. I wake up at like 3 and we're way down. I'm like looking at the market. I'm like, man, this thing is down there, right? And so my ass goes back to bed because I don't trade Globex. But when I woke up, I saw something spectacular, and I had to put a tweet out for everybody at 5 o'clock in the morning. We identified the 68, 67 level as the first and only buy spot. And the reason that I'm pointing this out is because I said our edge is in the edges, right? This was literally my only buy spot that we had. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up the pic so that you guys can see a little bit clearer image here. So this was right off my trading view chart. I'm laying in bed and I'm looking at this. I'm like, oh, hell no, right? So this is directly out of the plan, 68, 67, top down 4 hour. If we come down here, look for a bounce and reclaim the 68.83, right? We just talked about that level in the plan and look to take profits around 03. Obviously, in the plan, I said as well, you want to take profits around there. And if it continues to go above there, we could just flat out squeeze. Well, guess what? We flat out squeezed hard as hell today. And no, I'm not being a pervert. This is really what we did. It was insane. It was absolutely nuts. And it was really hard to get on it, to be honest. But even at, I think this was 6 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning when I put this tweet out, we were already up 60 points from this move, which was absolutely insane. Okay, so just an insane call, way ahead of time, for free, in the weekend review. Put this out every Sunday. I mean, come on. Like, if you're not paying attention, then what are you doing? Like, there's a lot of people on this stream right now. A lot. You guys all have better been paying attention. And if you haven't, you better start, because these levels are fire. And it's like this every day, every week. So let's go to the next thing. So let's talk about VIX one more time, and I'm just going to pull this up again just so that you guys can see. Where did I say right here? If it catches a bid above 1750, it can go to the next untested spot around $20, right? Okay, you ready? Whoop, check that out. Look at that. We gapped right in, almost to the $20 spot. Didn't quite get it. Okay, I missed it by a few pennies, whatever. So this is the pre-open. We're already pulling down after the gap up right into our 1750 spot. We're back. Here we are. Like, it's just insane sell-off, because at this point we're already squeezing super duper hard. And VIX is like, well, I hit my resistance, let me come on down. So the first thing I'm looking for is like, okay, the moment we get underneath this 1750, this is fucking on. Pardon my French, but it is one of those days. What's up, Altitude Capital? Silva, nice to see you guys in here. This is amazing stuff. So are you ready to see what the VIX look like after? Check this out. This is after the fact. Look at VIX. Oh, got creamed. Why? Because as soon as we got underneath the 1750, we played our resistance up here. This was like the green light for just step on the gas. And it did too. It straight up got it today. We had one of the gnarliest daily candles I've seen in a long time. Our range today was 150 points. Just absolutely freaking insane. So here's the deal. But, how do we play it? Well, let's get into it. We already knew we were squeezing. We knew VIX was coming down. Shorts were in danger. We were no longer looking to get short when we come into the market, which was fine by me because you guys know me. I'm like Mr. Bully all the way. I mean, even last week I was calling for new all-time highs when we played 69.03. And then last night when we dumped 100 points, I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. But nah, I ain't wrong. We're going for it. So, all right. So let's get into the first one. All right. So everybody knows that we were rocking and we're going. So here is, where do I want to start? Oh yeah, this is good. Let's do this. All right. So I'm going to start here. No. I'm not going to start there. All right. Sorry. All right. So check this out. All right. So I also talked about SPX heavily in the weekend review because it's my guide, right? I mean, we have to use it. It's the index. We would be foolish not to look at it. So here's the deal. Obviously, I'm going to tell you right now, being in the Discord room paid huge dividends today because I was all over this today. I was in the zone. I was in the flow state. And, I'm keeping people attuned to exactly how my process is playing out and exactly what we're looking at based on our review so that we just did. So again, we're pushing up. I'm looking at SPX. I called out this spot in the plan and I'm like, man, I like this spot. I think it could get a reaction. And I'm telling everybody, big spot incoming, lines up with the 7,004 weekly. We got our call wall up here and our previous weekly value area high for ES. And it was insane that our daily range or expected daily range was met in less than the first hour. In 45 minutes, we pushed our entire daily range, which was 63 points in 45 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking at SPX. And I'm like, all right, we're in a resistance. I'm sitting right here at the weekly that was tested, but it was super important, right? And we knew that the spot on SPX was untested. So at this point, I'm like, okay, guys, this thing's cooked a little bit. It's time to scalp with me a little something here. So of course, I throw a little something on, nothing crazy because I'm fading bias here. But as you can see, I'll just zoom in for you. And I'm showing everybody the whole time, like, let's see if this pays 10 points. It's technically tested, but it's super important. And there's a lot of confluence here. Again, Discord paying dividends left and right. So, I'm like, okay, let's fucking go. We're in this spot for the weekend review. Here is the weekly that I'm pointing out for everybody right here that we've talked about so many times. I mean, it's not just once or twice. I probably said something about this level, I don't know, maybe 24 times. I mean, shouldn't even be a surprise to a lot of people, right? So, and then of course, as usual, I always show the crew my fills. I lead by example. I'm not scared to show my losses and my wins. So I show guys what's up. So again, I'm in this and look at that. They just missed my stop by a point. Or by a tick. I don't even know how they missed me, but I'm short off the 04 and look at this. I'm trying to get down to 91, just a preclude of the Friday's high. And so they come down, they miss me, they pop up, they make a new high. And what they did is this blue line right here, this is the initial balance high. What they do is they actually came up and wicked the IB high, and then they pulled back, which was crazy. So I just knew they were going to get me. I'm like, damn, I'm fading this Momo, and they're going to grab my ass. But they didn't. They came down, they got me. Now, they didn't get my runner. They actually ended up coming right down into about 86 or so, and I trailed out, I think, at like 93 or 94. Once they got above the daily, I didn't want to give it too much room, which was a good idea because they ended up going back up. So let me kind of show you what was happening here with SPX, and I'll just show you because we called this out in the weekend review. I love to show the after the fact because everything plays with such insane precision. So here you go, 69.77. And yes, okay, it popped through it like a point or two, whatever. But on ES, it didn't. ES, it was super clean. So this pullback, and the reason that I was looking to take profits at that spot was, one, we had the Friday's high, and two, we had that significant daily sitting there at 89, and that's going to come into play right here in a second. I'm going to talk about 89 here in a second. But also on SPX, we had this massive weekly here. And just to be honest, this thing looks like a big-ass W, right? So I don't want to stand in front of a freaking moving train. I'm not crazy. I mean, I was crazy enough to even fade it a little bit, which I think took a little balls and a little psychoticness on my part, but I did it anyway, and it worked, and I made $1,000, and I was happy about life. And so I ended up getting flat because of this weekly and the daily and all the other confluence. And so I just wanted to show you kind of what it looked like after. And, just so you guys understand how that whole thing played out. So here you go. Here's the next one. You ready? Okay. So check this out. So I'm telling people in the room, again, Discord room paying dividends, right? So this is right after that trade happened. And I'm telling guys, hey, look, excess to 19 cleanup is definitely possible, right? So I'm a big profile guy. We just talked about value. We just talked about these bell curves. And we talked about all this shit just at the beginning of this video. So with that being said, this shouldn't come to a surprise as you guys. So again, the market has certain inefficiencies that it has to clean up. And just to let you guys know where I got this from, my roots are originated on the Chicago Board of Trade. I am formerly a market maker. I did it for many years until COVID, until they shut down the Chicago Board of Trade floor. And so we didn't have computer screens there. All we had was TPO. So it was actually created by a guy who was on the floor. And so all we have are pieces of paper, and we're drawing, 30-minute periods. And so I'm never going to not use it because that's where my roots are from. So I knew, just basically looking at this, we had some singles all the way up to 19. And I'm like, guys, there's excess up here. This can totally get cleaned up. And I said they can get cleaned up given the current momentum, right? All this stuff comes into play, right? So it's just experience and understanding, how we're moving. So, and I tell these, and this was the second time I called this out for people in the room. I said, listen, I got 2 trades for me to remain today. We either short 19.25 or I'm long 69.57. Otherwise, I'm sitting on my hands, right? And I told everybody, alarms are set. Keep the tabs on the alerts channel. So I actually am able to set the alerts on my Seer charts. Rob developed a webhook that pushes it to the room. And so guys don't even have to really look at their charts. They don't have to sit there all the time. They can just look at their Discord. If the alert goes off, they know we're getting close to a level. And then they can come back to their computer, which is love, because I have become addicted to the alerts because I multitask while I'm trading, and because I'm really only waiting for certain setups. Okay. So this is exactly how we were looking at here, which was great. So now, this is right out of the trade plan, you guys. And this is where the 89 comes into play. I did not forget to talk about that. I was just waiting for this slide right here. So check this out. The progression pivot, 69.89. You ready? We need to get above 69.89 to continue our progression higher. If we breach this, there is a high probability that we push into the 70.1925 area. Well, here, this red line, 69.89. Look at that sick ass back test. Whoop, whoop, went right up there. And look, there it is. That's what I drew on the profile. You've seen it, the excess, right? All up in it. Check this out. The cleanup target, 70.1925. The untested 4-hour. If this plays, look for continuation back below 04 and ultimately 89. You don't say. And look where this played. And look, 04, we definitely hit 04. And you know what? We haven't got to 89 yet, but the day is not quite over. I bet you when we open up in Globex, I bet you we end up down there. This is a pretty significant push. This was a monster level, and they're going to actually, I don't know what they're going to do, but just based on experience, my guess is that we will end up at least retracing a little bit after this insane squeeze. And so 89 for me is certainly on the cards. And guys, this is all laid out. Wait, I did this Sunday. This is how ridiculous the plans are, how ridiculous the process is. I mean, I laid this out for you. Here's the level. Here's the actionable plan. Here's how you want to play it. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like paint by numbers, for Christ's sakes. So I just wanted to show you guys how incredible it was, how we plan this out way in advance, and how you can certainly take advantage of it. I'm going to tell you right now, I have not changed the 30-day free trade plan. It is actually in the link to this post right now. I hope I have the bandwidth to get it done this week. You guys who know me personally. My dad's in the hospital. He just had hip surgery. He's like 4 miles from my house. I'm busy babysitting him, holding down the fort, trying to, run a business here and trade at the same time. So I have not got that taken down yet. I suggest you guys take advantage of it while you still can, because at some point that shit is going bye-bye, because this shit is too good to be given away for this much. So anyways, that is what's up with the S&P today. Now, we're not going to stop there. There's no reason to look at this anymore. That was the trade plan. That was the high. We basically got every move. We've got the whole 9 yards, right? So let's talk about one other thing, because, we've still got 6 minutes left in this stream. And I'm going to talk to you about Bitcoin, because this is really something that's huge right now. I mean, this is, nobody talks about it when it's, just chilling, going sideways. Everybody wants to dog it in a bear market, but really that's when the buying opportunities are made. So let's get right into this thing. As you guys know, I was calling for a major long here off of, let's just call it 82,000. And I really thought it was going to go to 100 grand. I really did. That was really what I expected. And it didn't quite do it, but hey, it paid 21.5%. So sue me. Okay. But when I actually made this call, and this is something that, I put out there specifically when we first did it, I said, listen, this is a gray spot, but we might go to 100 grand and pull back into the 70s area. Well, we didn't get to the 100, but we're sure as shit coming down into the 70s area anyway, after a nice 20% pop. This is a massive accumulation phase. And again, guys, I talked about this in the week in review. You can watch this week in review on X, on Substack, on YouTube right now. It's on there for free. And it's a lot. You just go click on it and go watch. It's just going to blow your mind. So here we are down here. And this is a massive area to buy. Guys, in my opinion, this is a much better spot than the 82,000. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said, oh, I might go here and come down here. I think that we can hold down here. I don't know how long it's going to take to hold, but I have to tell you this. We've seen equities run. We've seen metals run. Bitcoin had its moment in the sun, but now we're starting to come down in an area that really has piqued my interest. And the reason that I'm saying this is, for those of you who are paying attention to what's happening geopolitically, we are devaluing the dollar left and right between lowering rates and, printing cash and all this tariff shit, which is supposed to actually reduce inflation, which it's not really doing its job. I've put some posts out there about that stuff, but our dollar is getting slayed. It lost 10% last year. It's down 3% this year already. And they're expecting another 7 to 8% decline this year for a total of 20% over the next 2 years. That is freaking crazy. That means our dollar's buying power is, and which is even scarier because I got to tell you, I mean, everything's expensive as hell. I'm not only worried about me, but I'm worried about my kids. So at this point in time, I'm really just trying to buy anything I think that can appreciate faster than our dollar, which at this point is damn near anything. Because, right now you have better luck just setting the shit on fire. So here's the deal. I think this area can hold. I think this is a great area to play Bitcoin. 71,250 area down into the 70,350 area. Let's just call it 69 grand. Right? 71.2 to 69,000. This is the great spot. And all this area really can kind of play around and flirt around here because this is where we accumulated before we launched. And I like this spot. Okay. So for me, it's hard for me to find a stocks right now that I'm interested in. I've got a couple, but not many, because to me, valuations are super juiced. The AI hype is, it might be a little played out. I don't know. But what I do know is it's really hard to find a good deal right now. And I've been looking everywhere. I can't buy gold. I can't buy silver. I mean, I can. I mean, we pulled down to my spot in gold. I think it hit 40. I can't remember what it was, 45, 48. I can't remember. I don't have the chart up. We actually hit one of the spots that I was actually after. Let me pull that up real fast. I don't even know where it's at right now. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, here it is right here. Hang on. Whoop. Yeah, we hit $4,500 and it really doesn't, I'm not so sure it's going to stop. So I really need to chart. I've got a lot of alarms set down here for a reason. So I got to figure that out. So gold could potentially be a buy, but really with this new Fed, with the new Fed guy we got coming in, he's pretty hawkish. And so I don't know if he's going to lower rates. He's actually into a strong dollar, which could be a problem for the metals, especially long term. So they may have had their moment in the sun. We had a pretty big squeeze. And so, they might need to kind of balance out and, kind of figure out what's the word I'm looking for, where we push up higher and we find value. Essentially, we need to accept value here before it can move any higher. And it might take a while. I really feel like the big push has been had. And so I'm just going to kind of be easy on these and look for a good buy. But right now, Bitcoin looks super sexy to me, super sexy. I mean, certainly more so than ETH. I mean, I'm not really into ETH or really any altcoins right now. I was a huge altcoin guy, but I got to tell you, I lost my ass on a lot of those. I made a shit ton of money, in past 2 or 3 cycles. But this last year, oh my God, just reamed the shit out of me. We never got the actual, super cycle everybody said we were going to get. So I kind of swore off all the altcoins. And this is where I'm at now, guys. And I think this is going to be a fantastic buy. I'm just going to lay into this. I might even buy a whole Bitcoin down here and kind of see what happens, or maybe a half of one. I don't know, because, I hear a lot of there's a lot of bullshit out there on X. People are like, oh, if it pulls back 75%, that's $30,000. Well, as much as I don't believe that'll happen, it certainly gets me, thinking, which is another reason I fucking hate social media, because they fuck with my bias. But I'm going to stick to my conviction and basically say, hey, listen, this is where I have to lay into it. And really what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put a very good amount of money into here. And then when we start to reclaim this, I want to see this play. And then if we come and reclaim this $80,000 area, then I'll get in the rest of my load, put the rest of my capital in there, and let her ride up for my Bitcoin allocation. I think that's the proper move here. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think this is going to be a big play. I don't want anybody to miss it. And, I know I'm certainly not going to miss it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. We had a killer day. We had the low again. Last week, we had the low at 03, at 69.03. I'm not sure these trade plans can get any better. I really don't think they can. I mean, they are just so good. And listen, not to toot my own horn, but we are winning. So listen, I hope you guys sign up. I got the 30 days free is still down there. Also, please check out my favorite statistics platform, Edgeful. My link is in there below. They are phenomenal. I use it every day. Our whole job is based on statistics, and this platform is all that, which is incredible. I've never seen a platform like this for $50 before. I mean, we used to use stuff like this when I worked at the fund, and it was thousands of dollars. So take advantage of this. It's $50. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the post-market breakdown. Same time, same channel. And for those of you who have the trade plans, I will have it in your inbox at 8:30 in the morning. No question about it. We're going to crush it tomorrow and conquer the markets. I'll see you guys. Be good. Cheers.